guys, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Happy Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
And it's the end of the month.
End of the month, January 31st.
Yes, so we are doing our book review episode.
Book review.
For those who don't know, I'm Santana.
And I'm Melanie. And we are a book podcast. And currently at the end of the month, which means as every other month episode, we review the book of that month.
Yes.
And by the title, you can see It's Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas.
Yes.
So spoilers.
Major spoilers, because we're going to be going through everything in this book.
Everything. So either read it, come back, or if you just want to keep listening, just keep listening.
Exactly.
Okay. Birthday Girl.
Tell me your thoughts.
This one, because you read this first.
Yes.
You read this, and you read it months ago.
I read it in the summer.
Yeah.
Yes. So
it's been a while for me. Like I just read it with everyone this January, and it wasn't one of the Penelope Douglas books that I was like, let me go read it.
know.
You know, I found all her other books more interesting.
Yeah.
In terms of the content.
I agree.
Like this is my first age gap book.
Yeah.
Especially like a single dad book.
Yes.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was
I
okay.
agree.
It
wasn't her best work, for sure. No.
Yeah, I haven't read too many.
Yeah.
But for me, this is definitely the lowest one.
Yeah.
Like I rated it 3.5 stars.
Yes.
What did you rate
so
it?
So the first time I read it, I gave it a 4. But then when I reread it and like went through it again, I was like, oh my God, I found so much like cringy stuff. So I gave it a 3.5 the second time I read it. I don't know. I don't know why. Like I was just like, oh, I don't know. like something about like rereading it and like going over through it again. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't really hit the same.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Sometimes I'm so good at going into a book and I'm so good at like not really thinking about the content, if you know what I mean?
Yes.
So like for some reason this one I just kept really thinking of like real life situation, which I was trying not to.
Yeah, you kind of have to like not do that with this book because it's very like it can be cringy.
It can be really cringy, especially when you keep getting reminded that he's 38 years old. He has a son.
Like a 19-year age gap is like huge.
It's huge. Okay, let's just get into it. Did you, when you're reading this book, did you like envision anybody as like the characters?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Same.
No.
I don't know. I find if the book's interesting, I might, but if it's not really interesting, I'm just kind of going with whoever she describes.
I don't really do that when I read. I'm just more like in my head.
Yeah. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it's fun to envision.
Yeah. I think afterwards,
actor.
like if you think about it, you can find some like good matches.
Totally. How does this book start again?
So it just starts off with them kind of meeting right away. So Jordan's working in a pub, Grounders.
Right.
She's trying to pay off her like student lones. It's her birthday.
That's right. Oh yeah.
So she's waiting for her boyfriend to pick her up, Cole.
Immediately.
Cole. Come on.
She really wanted us to make not like Cole.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like there's no good qualities.
No, he's a deadbeat. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So she heads to the theater because there's some 1980s movie playing. She loves the 80s movies, so she heads to the theater and that's where she meets Pike.
Did you, like, for me, I was like, okay, this has to be, because you already know what the book's about.
Yeah.
It's the boyfriend's father. I was like, okay, this has to be Pike.
Yes, immediately.
I thought that whole interaction was
my God.
was so forced in terms of plot.
Yeah.
Because really,
totally.
would they really keep talking after that?
Yeah, it was so weird.
It's so weird.
No.
For a girl who's that young with an older guy, like, of course, if you found him attractive, you're not really caring about the age.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to then, like, sit right next to them.
Exactly.
Like, that was forced.
It was like, okay.
Okay.
So then she finds out that it's Cole's dad, which I found kind of weird too. Like, how did you not know this was your boyfriend's father?
I know, like, yeah, exactly. Like, Cole's not really, he doesn't live with him, but you would still know who the dad is.
You'd be like, hey, who's your dad? Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure this is like set in a small town setting, right? So
exactly.
it's like, how did you not know this was?
But the fact that like she's calling, you know, him, and then he turns around.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
this is
like-
my son.
Cole Lawson.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole interaction felt so forced. It's just to get the book going,
Oh, totally.
which I get, but it just was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's how they meet.
Exactly. So Cole's in jail, I guess. He got picked up by the police. And first of all, it's her birthday. I would be
Yes.
so mad.
And you're still with him after this fact.
Oh my
that like
gosh.
you're picking him up and
Yeah.
he was being all stupid and it's your birthday.
Yeah,
And you had no ride after work.
Exactly.
You're like, bye.
You're like, bye, boy.
I don't care. We have a connection and a freaking scar on our hand.
100%. So weird. So then I guess Cole had some party at their apartment.
Yeah,
Gets
that
them
again
kicked out.
worst.
So they're kind of forced to move in with Pike at this point. He offers for them to move into his house.
like, oh my goodness. I keep saying like, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I've just noticed that. Okay, I get Pike is wanting to have a relationship with Cole. But for this to be the thing that like gets them together is
Yeah.
kind of like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Especially you're a single dad. You don't really know your son.
Yeah.
I understand you want to like help them, but don't you think it's like awkward that you're bringing in your son
19-year
and his girlfriend?
Yeah, and like you know at this point he's attracted to her because he
Yes.
keeps saying like,
Immediately, you were attracted to this woman
yeah.
before you even knew she was your son's
And
boyfriend.
she's just turned 19. Like I have to reiterate that fact because like she was 18 the day before.
Yes, yes. Not even 24 hours.
Like,
You met her.
Yeah. So he's attracted to her. It's kind of weird, right?
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then when they I just finished the book, and for some reason I'm like blanking
I
on it the
know.
moment we're trying to go through it.
Yeah.
They move in and they kind of like sets ground rules of like, look, Cole works on the outside,
Yeah.
you work on the inside, typical.
Yeah, like he doesn't want any money from them. He
Yeah.
just, I think she's going to cook and clean and Cole's supposed to take care of like the outside stuff.
Yeah, which is totally like typical like gender roles.
Immediately.
And also Pike, I don't think we've met what you guys know, but Pike has like a company. So
Yeah.
thinking of that,
Some like successful entrepreneur.
yeah, and you still wouldn't know who Cole's father is? Okay,
Yeah,
I digress.
exactly.
I'll move on from
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
I agree.
what is the first, because I feel like all these scenes kind of like in my mind just kind of blended together.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
Like, do you remember what's next?
So I'm trying to think here. I'm just going through my notes.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of start bonding. Pike and Jordan kind of start bonding over the landscaping.
Because Cole's always not there.
Yeah, he's not there. He's
Yeah.
always gone. He's out with his friends. He's drinking. And meanwhile, like Jordan's very responsible. She's working and,
Paying
she's
bills.
Paying bills, right?
Because I don't think Cole has a job right now.
No,
exactly.
He's unemployed. Deadbeat.
How are these two connected?
Yeah.
Like this makes no sense to me. The fact
Yeah.
that like Cole's acting like this and
Yeah.
Claire's been acting like this
Exactly.
prior to moving into Pike's house. How is she like so like he's my first
Yeah.
love?
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
like, okay.
This is kind of stupid.
I think the only reason like they really connected was because they had that friend, which we find out was killed in a car accident.
Okay,
Right.
okay, yeah,
So they
they,
had
like,
bonded
bonded.
over that, and that's how they were really like connected. I think that's really the only thing, right?
But that doesn't even seem that substantial for you to keep being in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because she's just turned 19. I'm sure Cole is like 19 turning 20.
Yeah, same age. I think.
Or yeah, so he
Yeah.
turned 19 too. But I just feel like there's not much information about the relationship to
No.
really make me believe that they've been such a good couple.
Yeah.
So like,
And for her to want to stay after all of these
yeah,
things,
that-
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, the moment we meet Cole, it's just like drinking and he's never home.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you with this
Constantly
fucking guy?
out. Yeah, exactly.
What I can remember though is her like first going to his construction site.
Yes.
And like bringing food
Yes.
for him.
Yeah, his lunch.
Okay. I know she's like wanting to just like support, but
Yeah.
The fact that like you're a 19-year-old girl and you're bringing this 38-year-old man food, like he can't take care of himself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
How awkward is that?
know.
Like, let me just go to your construction site and like give you some food.
yeah. Brought you lunch.
Buy you lunch, and everyone's like, "Ooh, look at her."
Yeah.
Oh,
And then we kind of find out about Jordan's abusive ex too.
That's right.
Jay. So I think maybe that's also why she's so attached to Cole, because he's like probably the first man who's treated her well.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I don't think she had a very good relationship with her father either.
No.
I think we find that out as well.
Okay, I think it's a good point from Penelope Douglas putting in Jay to feel like, okay, that's why she's with Cole. But the fact that Cole still hangs around with Jay. Okay.
Exactly. And he sends him to pick her up at one point.
Yes,
from
later
work.
later in the freaking book.
And-
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
She's working one night, expecting Cole to come pick her up.
Yeah.
Cole's wasted again. Sends Jay, her abusive ex, who Cole knew was abusive towards her.
Absolutely.
Still hangs out with the guy. Like,
Okay.
where's the logic?
Where is the logic? I think what kind of frustrated me with this book was the fact that like Penelope Douglas didn't really put in information to make us kind of at least like Cole.
Yeah.
Like immediately don't like Cole. And
Yeah.
it's so easy for us to fall in like, of course she's going to go for Pike because we don't care about Cole.
Exactly.
And especially his actions. And I think I kind of found that frustrating because it just seems so predictable.
Totally.
You know?
I agree.
I was like, okay, this makes sense.
And I think at that point too, when that night, like Jay goes to pick her up, she refuses, locks herself in the pub because she's the one closing that night. And then I think Pike somehow finds out she stayed at the pub.
Yes, because she
and then
falls asleep.
confronts her about cheating on Cole.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Whoa. For someone who's not in Cole's life to immediately be like, where is she?
Yeah.
She's seeing a guy. Where the frick is your son?
Exactly. But I think that was more for him because he didn't know where she was.
True.
And he's very possessive.
Very possessive. Like, for someone to not have a relationship really much after his ex, it just seems so weird that he's so possessive.
Weird. Yeah.
Because he's been a drifter, just kind of by himself.
Exactly.
It's,
And like the fact that he's always like calling her kid and stuff. And like, I think at one point in the book she calls him daddy.
Oh my gosh, that's right. As like a joke.
As like a joke. Yeah.
Totally. I was like, cringe. What else I found like cringeworthy is like every time she would say Pike's name, she'd have to add Lawson at the end of it.
It's like, okay.
No one does that.
Who does that?
Who thinks of a person's name and then adds on their full name?
Yeah.
That kept annoying me every time she did that.
So awkward.
Pike Lawson. I don't think Pike Lawson would do this.
No,
okay.
thank you.
We get it. We know his last name. You don't have to keep reminding us.
Yeah, exactly. And then
So there was like there was a party. I remember like he brought home people.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember now. So there's like a party. They're kind of outside.
Yes, they're drinking. They're in the pool.
They're in the pool.
Yeah.
And then somehow she makes her way in and like has a conversation with Pike. Like they're always finding ways to have a conversation.
Yes.
And the fact that Cole's just like, I don't really care.
Yeah. No
I'm
big
so
deal.
busy partying.
Yeah, but I guess you never really suspect like your dad would go for your girlfriend.
Totally. But like your girlfriend's living with you and your dad. You think you'd want to make her comfortable by always kind of being with her? You know,
like,
like
she does not know this man.
no,
Like,
exactly. Like
I would be like, please stay with me.
yeah, like hang out with me.
Yeah.
Why are you always like going off on your own, talking?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And I think at this night too, they're in the pool and Cole's kind of like take her bikini top off.
Oh,
and
that's
Pike is watching and he gets all jealous.
That's right. That's
like,
right.
Okay, dude.
He's getting so jealous of his son's girlfriend.
Son? Like, okay.
I can't.
Very weird. Very weird.
When does it happen? Like, when do they? Oh my god, everything's just like blending together, you guys. I don't know if this is like. I feel like
we should also bring up the point, like, Jordan has a sister Cam who works in a strip club and she's always trying to get Jordan to go work at the strip club.
yes,
She's leaving her flyers for this wet t-shirt
T-shirt
contest.
Yes.
And Jordan's like, no, not into it. Do not want to work there.
What do you think of the sister who's constantly being like, this is where you make money, like come over here?
I mean, I think she means well, you know, like she's just trying to help her sister out. Obviously, she makes good money. She supports herself and her son, right? So I think she's honestly just trying to help Jordan out the best way she can.
I guess you're right, because she sees Jordan in this situation of losing their apartment.
Yes.
But I think her sister doesn't really like Cole, right?
No, she
like,
doesn't.
She's like, why are you still with him?
Exactly. She knows how, like, shitty of a boyfriend he is. So
totally.
Yeah. And then she does meet Pike at one point and she's like flirting with him. Jordan gets jealous.
Yes. She's like, she's just doing it to make me jealous. Why? You're like with your boyfriend.
Like,
you're still with Cole.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
And then there's also, they have friends. Oh, no, wait. I'm trying to think here.
I know what comes first. I feel like this book is just a situation of just like constant scenes of them together in this house, that everything just seems to be blending together of the timeline for me.
The timeline, yeah. I'm trying to think here. Like I have notes, but they're not really like in order.
That's okay. Oh, what happens before they break up? I'm trying to think. Oh my goodness. What is the catalyst of Jordan and Cole breaking up? I think they just kind of like drifted.
It was, she caught him in the pool with.
Oh, but before that, what happened before all of that?
She was pushing him away. He was trying to like get her to like have sex, and she was kind of like, no, I don't really want to do that, and just constantly being gone.
Yeah.
And away, right?
Did Pike and Jordan have any, like, wow, guys, I'm so sorry. It's like a terrible book review. I can't remember. Did Pike and Jordan have any, like, interaction in terms of physical before that? No, she just had thoughts, right?
No, just thoughts. Both of them were very, like, attracted to each other.
Yes. They kept having wet dreams of each other.
Yes.
That's what. And the loofah freaking scene.
Oh, yeah, the loofah scene.
How could we forget the loofah scene?
Okay, I have that here, yes.
Okay, so the switch of her going into the shower and just, like, immediately getting horny. I'm like, where's this Jordan coming from?
She's so innocent. And then all of a sudden she's using his loofah in the shower to pleasure herself.
Stop it. Why did a loofah have to become involved in this situation?
She's like, oh, I'm going to have to buy him a new one.
I can't. Yeah, that first scene. Because I think the
this
loofah
was
scene,
the first, like, sexual scene.
I thought the first one is when she was in bed.
Oh,
and, like,
maybe you're right.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. The scenes where she goes from 0 to 100 was so alarming because I just didn't think Jordan had it in her. Yeah. From the way she's described and throughout the book. Yeah. So then when it got to the loofah scene, I was like,
okay.
This is crazy.
It's like, who is this girl?
And then I don't know how long after that, Pike has his wet dream of her.
Yes, like, that's right.
He's just horny individuals.
Yeah, 100%.
We're just like so into each other, and then Cole's just like, boop, and just drink all the freaking time.
Bye, not here. But out and about.
You'd think that Pike, as a father, you would take your son in, that you would kind of be like more harsh on him. Like, I know he tried to make Cole go to the construction site, but then Cole didn't want to. I'd be like, get your ass up. Like, I know I want to be closer to you, but you're just, like, kind of letting your son do whatever he wants.
Exactly. Like, if you're going to live under my roof, at least, you know, you can help out around here. Because I don't think he was doing anything. No yard work. I'm pretty sure Jordan was mowing the lawn too. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just weird to me that they did that Pike and Cole didn't have, like, a conversation. Yeah. Even though, like, they tried to in the book. Yeah. It was just constant, like, he wasn't really talking. But I just thought maybe Pike should have been more assertive. Yeah. I feel like he just was like a pushover.
Oh, totally.
And okay, I understand, like, the reason why. I just, I feel like they should have had more scenes together, I guess I'm saying, in the book.
Yeah.
You know, to really drive the point.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the only time he really, like, confronts them is when he catches them in the pool.
Yes.
Cole and a
girlfriend. That was like, so strange.
I know.
Like, the fact that Cole did not care that he just brought a girl over, which you know you're living with your girlfriend
in this house.
That was wild to me.
Brave.
It was I felt so bad for Jordan because could you imagine
like the disrespect?
the disrespect?
Like she does everything for you.
Holy crap!
Oh, I felt bad for her at that point.
Yeah, I thought that was that was so harsh.
Yeah.
Like, oh god. And then she immediately leaves.
Yeah.
And she goes to her sister's place, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, she goes to her sister's place and
Tries to figure out like, oh, where am I going to stay now? Because she doesn't want to live in that house with Cole anymore.
well, yeah, of course not.
Like, don't blame her.
No.
You know, so I think at that point she's like, I'm going to go move in with my father.
Oh, was that the night?
Yeah.
That's right. She took all her stuff.
I think she goes and stays with Cam.
There is a point in the book where she does go with her sister.
Yeah.
And then there is a point in the book where she does go to her dad.
Yeah.
And then Pike tries to figure out.
Yeah, he sees like the living conditions of her dad's
Yes.
trailer and he's like,
Yes.
no, you're not
Oh,
staying here.
That's right. That's when he goes to drop her off there.
Yes.
So that's the first one.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the scene where she finds Cole
Yeah.
because she's packing up all her things. Okay. So if I'm remembering correctly, Jordan and Pike gather up Jordan's things and he takes her there because this is before, I think she's just realizing her and Cole are drifting apart.
Yeah.
I think this is before the whole confronting pole scene. And then, he just kind of like sees the conditions.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I can't let you stay here.
Which is very sweet,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because there's like a bunch of random guys outside.
Yeah, her stepbrothers are making like gross remarks
Yes.
towards her.
What the frick, man? Oh my
And
goodness.
then he's like, Pike's like immediately no, like you're not staying here, get in the truck.
Which is definitely a good, so I say dad move, but he's not her dad.
Exactly.
A good, responsible adult move. 'Cause,
Yes.
Yeah, definitely didn't want her living there.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think then they make an agreement like Jordan will pay for the groceries and
That's
the
right.
bills and
Yes.
she'll still stay at Pike's house.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Cole goes and lives with his mom.
I think
I
just
think
around the
Cole
time.
was like, okay, I'll let her stay here kind of thing and I can go live with my mom while she like figures out something else, right?
oh my goodness.
And then now Pike and Jordan are spending all this time together, like
Alone in a
playing
house.
husband and wife essentially.
Oh my goodness. And
Yeah.
I want to talk about the scene where I don't know where it is in the book where Jordan it's like lingerie night at the bar where Jordan works.
Oh, yes.
And for some reason, Pike's is it his brother or is it his best friend?
His best friend, yeah.
Like calls him and like tells him about Jordan.
Oh, yeah, you might want to get down here.
I found that scene so weird. Why would his best friend, one, be concerned about his best friend's son's girlfriend? Like
I think he knew like how much Pike was like attracted to her,
But
though.
like, I just was like, you should come see her. Like, I don't know.
Come see your son's girlfriend right now.
Looking really hot. And then Pike thinks it's like the wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah.
I don't think he thinks it's that.
Yeah.
But I just was like, that whole conversation of like, you should come down here.
Yeah, super weird.
It's super weird.
Super weird.
These like older guys just wanted to go watch these girls wearing lingerie.
Yeah.
But also a lingerie night at a bar. That's kind of weird.
Weird.
I've never heard of that before.
Exactly. Very strange.
Very strange. Yeah, I thought that whole interaction. But
yeah.
I guess throughout the book, Pike's best friend is like, what's this girl doing around?
Yeah.
She's young and attractive.
Exactly.
You're single. So I get it.
Yeah.
But like an almost 40-year-old man calling another 40-year-old man about a 19-year-old
Exactly.
girl.
Especially because like all his friends have like young kids and like it's very weird.
I'm sure Pike's friends has maybe not his son's age, but like a couple years younger. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Very odd.
Very odd.
Pike has a friend over. They're playing pool.
Oh, yes.
Right? And Jordan's like immediately jealous. There's pounding music, like wanting her
'cause
to leave.
This girl is like the
girl
bar.
who's always at the bar,
Yes.
and taking random guys home. So she knows she's like a major, like.
Why out of all girls is that the girl Mike brings home?
Right?
It doesn't seem really much good
So
for
Jordan's
Mike.
like super jealous, and then eventually Pike's like, "Oh, I guess like you should leave."
She's like
now.
banging upstairs, like
the-
throwing cabinets. It's like such a
Such
childish.
a child.
Oh god.
And then,
So funny.
so she's jealous, and then they're like arguing, and that's when they kind of have like this first kiss moment.
Okay.
And
It must have been
I think they
uneventful.
finally sleep together at that point too.
Okay, they must have.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of like when does she do that weird scene where she calls him? She's in her bedroom. She locks him out.
Oh, that's right.
Is that? I'm trying to think of where that scene is.
That's obviously before they've had sex.
Yes.
Because she's teasing him.
Or is it after?
Oh, yeah, maybe because they're like, we're never going to do this again.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, like, this was like a mistake kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that scene.
Dude. Yeah, he really grapples with like his feelings towards it being like wrong.
Yes, but you're having wet dreams about her. Mm-hmm. You know, I understand that she's young, but to be like, okay, now you're just like one and done.
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
like,
what?
Okay.
That's terrible of you.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's talk about that scene.
Yes.
About, like, okay, again, from 0 to 100, for her to, like, they all must have gotten hot and heavy before that.
Yeah.
For her to lock the door, and he's, like, trying to come in, and then, like, calls him. Like, has, like, phone sex or
Oh,
something.
my God, on the corner of the desk. Like,
Oh, my God, that's right.
like, what? That was just wild to me. Like, little innocent Jordan grinding up on the desk.
0 to 100.
On some phone sex with Pike.
Like, for someone to be so, like, timid to do that, like, I couldn't buy it. I'm sorry. I couldn't buy Jordan ever doing that.
No, me neither.
Especially.
She was too innocent for that.
Way too innocent.
To just automatically be like,
yes.
No.
I'm sorry. You have to have confidence to do that.
100%.
And there's no way Jordan as a character would be confident enough to do that.
Exactly. Which also leads to like the wet t-shirt contest, like the revenge scene, I want to call it, because she's pissed off at Pike because they had plans. Pike doesn't show up.
That's right.
After this, right? They have plans. Pike doesn't show up, and then she's like immediately, I'm going to the wet t-shirt contest.
Let me
No, I just
0 to 100 again, and just to be like out of spite, let me go show my tits to other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Because how is that gonna? Anyways,
yeah, and then Pike shows up. He's all mad,
right?
But he's like also turned on.
Yeah, turned on, but so mad. And doesn't she like get off somewhere? They like walk to the back.
Yeah, they walk.
Happened?
I think he's gonna take her home or something. They walk out to the parking lot or something like that.
It feels like your dad coming to get you because you did something wrong. Yes. Like that whole scene just felt like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, let me take you home. You've been a bad girl.
Exactly.
Oh,
like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the book, they're getting close. They're having feelings, but they're still, teetering on like, this is bad.
Yes, they're trying to keep it like hidden.
Yeah, I don't want Cole to find out. And there comes a scene where they're at the pool, them two.
Yes.
And I think like they're about to become hot and heavy.
Yes.
No. Oh, it's a party. This is what it is. That's right. So Cole has another party at his freaking dad's house. She comes in and, oh God, now I can't remember. Do you remember the whole scene?
I'm trying to think here.
Jay shows up and like
Jay
tries to assault her.
What? And Pike punches him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like the fact that Cole was still wanting to be associated with a guy that messed up
ridiculous
Jordan, and you're still wanting to be respectful, but you're clearly not.
Yeah.
And then the fact that this guy's just like a total creep who wants to just like take her and fucking rape her. Oh my God.
It's so weird.
So
Very
weird.
But then Pike punches him out and is like, don't come here again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then how does Jay be like, oh, you guys are fucking? How does that happen? Like,
I know.
Maybe he's just trying to protect this young girl, but immediately he goes, oh, you guys are together.
You guys have a relationship. We all know it.
Okay. I understand why that seemed to happen because towards the end, that's when Cole finds out that clearly something's going on.
Yes. Yeah.
And
exactly.
Obviously, then Cole like storms out.
Yeah.
And I think this is when she storms out too.
Yes.
To go to her sister's.
That's right.
Right?
I think so. I believe.
This has to be. There's no other.
Yeah.
I think they both just peace out and leave.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I think it's. Oh, I'm trying to think
here too.
Where's the scene of when the mother?
Oh yeah,
all four
Cole's
of them.
mom. They move in because Cole's lost his job. He's living with his mom. Cole's lost his job, and they show up at Pike's house unannounced. Hey, we're moving in.
So weird.
Cole lost his job, so now we're moving in with you guys because
Again,
I think something happened with the mom's house or something. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you.
I think it's just another plot point to try and force them all for confrontation.
Yeah,
Again,
forced proximity.
Yes, not believable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think at this point, Cole's kind of like catching the vibes of like him and
yes,
his dad and Jordan being like
correct,
having feelings for each other for sure.
Because I think they were trying to like hide at one point.
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, I need you to tell them about me.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yes, that's right.
I need you to like, say like either we're done or we're not.
Yeah.
Like, she totally gave him like an ultimatum.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Like
Of her being like, you have to tell your 19-year-old son, who's also my ex-boyfriend, that we're
and
together.
your baby mama.
And your baby mama, that we're together.
I was just kind of like,
I think it's like really not showing your age, because I get it. You're falling for this man. You don't want to be hidden anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really think like blurting it out then is
not
such
like, right place and time for that.
Yeah,
no.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like, again, just forced. Just a lot of forced things that the author's making everything happen.
And then she kind of has this big dramatic exit at this point.
Yes, because she wanted to, the mother and Cole were going to take over her room.
Yes.
So then they're like, where are you going to go? And
Yeah.
she wanted to be like, well, tell them I'm sleeping with you.
With you, in your room.
Yes. And then you're right. That's when she makes a dramatic exit.
Hey, I'm leaving then.
Well,
this
totally.
is never going to work kind of thing. Which is,
fair. Like,
girl, you're 19.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Jordan, I keep getting them wrong. Pike really wants a relationship with Cole.
Yes.
But does he really care? Because Cole's never at the house.
Yeah.
You're not really forcing Cole to talk to you. Like, clearly your desire for a relationship isn't there.
Exactly.
Like,
100%. And then I think at this point, Jordan's like miserable at work. She's very heartbroken. So she's like, I'm going to leave town.
Yeah.
Right. And I think this is kind of when Pike and Cole connect a little bit, because Cole's like, I've got some exciting news for you. We should go and get a tattoo together. Mm-hmm. And I think this is when does Cole tell him he's going to?
No. So he just says, I can't tell you right now, but I have something that like I'm going to share with you.
Yeah.
To be honest, I did think military. Like, I did think some sort of like going somewhere. Yes. I don't know why, but I did. Yeah. Because I was like, what do you mean you can't tell him right now? But it's a big news. Yeah. But then what makes Cole go? Because Cole leaves, Jordan leaves.
Yeah.
Obviously, when does the mother leave? Because I remember Pike going towards her house.
Yes.
And then that's when she breaks the news of where Cole is.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember now.
I'm trying to think too.
God,
oh
this
yeah.
book.
So Pike goes to like apologize to Cole because Cole is really upset like about the whole Jordan situation, right? Mm-hmm. And then he shows up at the mom's house and she's like, no, he's not here. Mm-hmm. He joined the Navy, I think it was. Yeah, the Navy.
Yeah.
So...
which is very weird. Very weird. Very a 180 of Mr. Party Boy to immediately go into the Navy.
Exactly.
Again, not believable.
Yeah.
But
Okay. And then now I think at this point, Pike's trying to like reach out to Jordan because she doesn't know where she is.
He doesn't know where she is.
He doesn't know where she is.
And then he goes to like her work and her sister.
And the sister's pissed.
Like, well, of course, obviously you would be.
Obviously.
Like, you're like, her sister is an adult. Yeah. I don't know how much older, but a couple years older with a son. You're like, what are you doing with this freaking 19-year-old girl? Leave her alone. Exactly. Which, good on her.
Exactly.
Like, do leave her alone.
Like, you're an old man.
Yes. You're an old man.
But still, like, to a 19-year-old, you know.
Yes, exactly. To someone who's 19, you're older.
Yeah.
But then he's just thinking about, what his life could be like with her.
Yeah. And I think his friend's like, she'll resent you.
Yeah. Which is
trying to convince him, right?
Yeah. Because he thinks about that, like, I want he doesn't want kids anymore. Yeah. So you're asking her to not have children with you. You're in a totally different space. I don't know. I wanted them to be together because it's just cute. But then when I was like thinking logically, like, you guys are just not in the same place. No matter how much how she wants to be older.
Yes.
She needs life experience.
Yes.
I don't know.
totally.
I think that's why this book is very controversial because I don't see it working.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. And then at this point, it's like 2 months has passed. Pike's been like trying to keep busy renovating the house.
Yeah, he makes like a little garden thing for her and other
so
stuff.
Cute.
Very cute.
And then he eventually goes into her room because he hasn't been able to go in there. And he finds her little dream drawer. I thought this part was so cute.
So cute.
Like,
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Like, because he was thinking like, oh, like, you know, she's not going to be happy with me this whole time. But meanwhile, like, all of her dreams included like a life with him. So I think that's when he realizes like, oh, I got to go get her.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I don't want to let her go.
Yeah.
Or at least he wants to just tell her.
Yes.
And obviously let her make the decision.
Exactly.
Which, yeah, I thought was really cute. And then I think it was the lady who she works with at the bar was the one who told him where she is.
She's like, she wouldn't tell him exactly where, but the town, I think it was, in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah. A motel in Virginia, she said.
I know. And
then he's got to like track her down.
Yes, which, you know, then when it goes into her point of view and how she's thinking of him a little bit, I found her going from a bar to a motel definitely different.
Yeah.
I'm curious why she didn't go to another bar.
Yeah.
But
I think her friend, it was because her friend worked there or something.
Oh, that's right. There's a connection.
Yeah, she had a connection there. Her friend worked or
ran
this motel. So she's like, oh, I'll just go work with her.
That's right. They're like little coworkers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then they're like, of course, it's the same scene where he's trying to look for her. She's talking about him to her. And then she like turns around, like he walks through the door and goes like, "I'm looking for Jordan."
Yeah.
And then then it was like, yeah, that was cute.
Yeah,
you know,
it was cute. And then he like confesses his love for her, and they have this little reconnection. I'm pretty sure they go and do it in the hotel.
They go in the hotel room. That's right. Obviously, they would.
Gives her some cassette tape.
Oh yes, he makes her cassette tape of 80s music. Yes. Yeah, that was cute. And then how many years does it jump after that?
And then I think it's a year. I have here a year later.
Or does Cole come back? And that's how he figures out the whole. Yes, I think it's because before he goes to find Jordan. Oh my gosh, Cole comes back. Right. It's been 2 months. Cole comes back and is like all of a sudden fully changed. Yeah,
he's like
he's somehow an understanding freaking 21-year-old now.
Yeah, I understand, Dad.
Yeah, like I don't like it, but I get it. I don't think a 19-year-old boy would ever be okay with.
No, especially like that was your girlfriend, dude.
Yeah, like you slept in the same house as your dad, and like now your dad's been like in love with your girlfriend, or your ex-girlfriend.
I don't know.
Yeah,
again, unbelievable.
I think his arc was just. I understand she wanted to make Cole likable at the end, but I just found it like. Forced.
It was forced.
Like, I'm sorry, he goes to the military and now he's a changed man.
He's a changed man.
Okay. And then that's how, like, I think it's how Pike becomes comfortable with the idea of going after Jordan because Cole's okay with it.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
And then it's like a year later, it's her birthday again. And he proposes. And she accepts. Right? How did you feel about that?
As a theme of this book, just rushed.
Yeah.
Only a year.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, he, like, really wants to secure her down. Like, he does not want her to leave.
Yeah.
And she's all for it. I don't know. In the context of the book, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. He really turns a leaf, and he really likes this girl, and throughout the book he's constantly saying, I was like, is this dream girl?
Yeah.
It's the girl he's always wanted. Because then you find, throughout the book, you find out how terrible the relationship was with Pike and Cole's mother. It was like not a good relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
So I get that. I just feel like weird how he didn't have really any solid relationship from Cole's mother to Jordan to like immediately wanting to get married.
Yeah.
But whatever. I just was like, okay, this makes sense for where the book's going.
Totally. And then it's kind of like the end of the book. There's an epilogue. It's 9 years later, and they're happily married. They have a kid named Jake.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure Cole has a wife. And
Yeah,
also has a kid the same age. It's like, oh god,
such a weird, like she's
dynamic.
pregnant with another one.
Yeah,
and he's like built the backyard like perfectly how she wants. I don't know. It's just like really tying up a book into a bow. That was just like, I get it for what you're trying to do, and they're cute. They're married and have children.
Yeah,
I still think the age gap is weird.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I don't know. Like it's definitely not a book trope that I'm gonna go towards.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to get it out of my brain.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of cringe.
Just kind of cringe. And then it's like happily ever after.
Yep, happily ever after.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So definitely the second time around, you said you could.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just caught more of like the cringiness.
Yeah. The ickiness of it.
Yeah, I was just like, not for me.
No.
It wasn't bad. It's not bad. It's just you have to be in the right like mind space almost to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Overlook these things.
That's a good way of saying it. Like overlook the fact that there's such a huge age gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Penelope Douglas book.
No, me neither.
Age gap isn't for me. I honestly don't think I would read another age gap romance book. I just find it too unbelievable.
Yeah. I think just with her being so young. Like, I don't think I'd mind, like, a 25-year-old and, like, a 40-year-old, Like, that's okay.
Totally.
I just heard with her being, like, just 19.
Just 19.
Super young like that.
And, you're right. It's definitely the fact that she's so young.
Yeah.
And it's, like, her third boyfriend ever.
Yeah.
That, like, you're right. I wish maybe there is age gap books.
Yeah.
Where it's mid-20s to 40s. That one I would read. But I don't want 18, 19-year-old with a 30-something-year-old and just out of high school.
Like a 38-year-old. It's kind of a little much.
A little much. This book was super, for me, underwhelming in terms of, like, the story was okay. The spice scenes were okay. I just, it was kind of underwhelming for me. So hopefully this wasn't a bad pick.
I know some girls enjoyed it though in the book.
Club, so. Like don't get me wrong. It's not a terrible book. I didn't rush through it. I didn't DNF it. Like it's still fine. Yeah. I just, definitely not an age gap type of person.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Now I know because it's my first book I've ever read.
Exactly.
What book are we reading next?
So we are going to be doing Normal People by Sally Rooney.
Woo-woo.
I am so excited to read this one. I've heard such good things. So
could you read the back of it?
Yes. Please? Connell and Marianne grew up in the same small town, but the similarities end there. At school, Connell is popular and well-liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Normal People is the story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond, in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find that they can't. I am excited.
I'm so excited. It's
another quick read, I think.
Very quick.
Right?
I think this is the smallest book I've read since I was like a child.
I know. Very thin.
Very thin.
How many
guys.
pages is it? Like 300? Not even?
Yeah, just under 300.
Yeah.
It's a very quick book. So our hope, or not our hope, what we're going to do for this month is we're going to read this book for February.
Yeah.
And then we're going to watch the TV show.
The series.
Which is on, I believe it's still on Amazon Prime.
Oh, perfect.
So you guys can watch it there. I've watched it. Santana hasn't.
I have not.
But we both haven't read the book.
Yes.
So like I already know the story.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new for me, but I've never read it. I'm super excited. So we'll probably be doing something different at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Since we're going to read the book and go over the series.
Yes.
But I think the episode's going to be a lot of like comparisons.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So
100%.
I'm so excited. If you guys haven't read Normal People, grab it. It's a very easy book, very quick. It's non-Kindle Unlimited, but you can purchase the ebook.
Yes.
It is expensive for Canadians for 300 pages.
It's craziness. Like,
It's crazy.
I feel like books should, like we were talking about, like books should be based on the size, like the cost.
Yes,
I think. Anyways,
the cost of it, because
like, that should be $15.
Yes, not $23. Because I think this book was like $20-something. Go on the back of it and check the price.
Let's see here.
Because I think I still have the sticker. Do I have a sticker?
27.
20. Okay,
But
still, like
this is hardcover.
$4 difference.
Hardcover.
And look at this freaking that's insane to me. So if you have friends who've read it, borrow it. I think the library
does have it.
Yeah. So go to the library. We're just going to exchange it because we're both going to read this so fast.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for joining us on our book review episode of Birthday Girl. Please rate and review our episodes on Spotify and Apple. It really helps our podcast. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Fable is where we hold our book club. So thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.